law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County, and I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies, where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, a Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the west coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, look at you. You're looking fantastic. My name is Drew Steele, Big D on the other side of the glass. Nina's in the breaking newsroom. And you, anytime you want to watch, at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. Anytime you want to check out the podcast, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get it. And anytime you want to listen, streaming live 24/7 if you're not listening to one of our great affiliates across the state of Florida. It is drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's, and you can go there and listen at your convenience. You know, it's always nice to open up a show, start a program with some happy news. That would be a good thing. So we're going to get to some of the happy news in just a second. Want to remind everybody that scheduled to join us very shortly is our good friend James Fishback. James, of course, is the CEO of Azoria, and he is right now watching the Lisa Cook hearing and keeping an eye on that because the president decided that there was a Fed gov that may need to be fired because they had not one, not two, but 3 different mortgages that they have on the that they got apparently in the same day, same week. I don't know. There's some crazy stuff that's going on, but he's going to join us and explain what's happening with that. And maybe there's a little bit of, hey, why is it that nobody wants to bring down interest rates? Oh, it seems like there might be something going on with the Biden appointee that's doing some bad stuff and he's probably got TDS, and we'll get to all of that on the way. But before we do that, let's start with some good news. You know, just the other day, we had some of the news from CNBC talking about jobless claims and the like.
Second quarter GDP are now hitting the wires. 3% was our last look. Right. It now jumps up to 3.3%. But from a comp basis, that would still be the best quarter since September of 23.
Okay. So the best quarter since 2023. So you think to yourself, all right, well, that seems like some pretty good news right there. Is there any other good news you could talk about with Trump's economy? Yeah, how about this? Private sector wages.
Here is private sector wages up 0.7%. That's pretty strong.
That's pretty strong.
That's a strong number. Do you want to annualize that on national television? Or should I do it for you?
You're at about 5%.
You're about 5%. Those are strong numbers.
Strong numbers. All right. CNBC reporting strong numbers. The core PCE prices and the indexes and things are looking pretty good there. So some positive news. And then you have to think, all right, when it comes to what you're paying at the pump, I wonder if as we get to celebrating Labor Day, as there's discussion about maybe prices going down at the pump. Now, certainly, if there was prices that are looking pretty good right now, as we speak, in this very moment to which I speak to you, certainly CNN wouldn't have anything positive to say about
if you're planning a road trip this holiday weekend.
Yep.
Gas prices at their lowest level for a Labor Day weekend in years.
What? Are you kidding? So even oh, go ahead. Yeah, you can do that for me. Yeah. So even as the weekend upon us, the weekend passes, Labor Day is here. We're heading into what for many across the United States is the beginning or the end of summer and the beginning of school season. Although in the state of Florida, we're already there. There you go. CNN is like, Wow, would you look at these gas prices?
In some states, they are below $3 a gallon.
Huh?
Matt Egan is here with the good news.
Oh, are you allowed to say that? Hey, is CNN allowed to talk about good news when it comes to gas prices or anything else that's going on in this economy? Do you know who the president is?
We have to say goodbye to summer, but we're going to do it and save some cash.
That's right, Erica. Look, you are in luck if you're hitting the roads this holiday weekend.
Okay, so there you go. You're in luck, hitting the roads, feeling pretty good. So CNN is like, how about that? You're passing through the weekend, you're getting to Labor Day, you're in it right now, and there you are, and you're thinking, wow, this is pretty good. Positive. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta be like I don't know. D, is that like a gut punch? What does that feel like?
Rubbing salt in the wound.
Oh, like if you've got if you got TDS, like the TDS is strong in this one kind of thing. The Star Trek thing going on or whatever that is. Whoever the little green guy with the funny ears is. Yeah, you got that.
Spock.
That guy. Yeah, Spock. He wasn't green, though. But anyway, maybe if he ate some bad fish on some planet that he didn't know about. But anyway, the point is that, that's got to hurt CNN. I mean, there they are, and they're like, yep, they got to talk about it. Gas Buddy is projecting the national average, $3.15 a gallon, the lowest since 2020. Drivers in 15 states across the country, average there is about $3 a gallon. OPEC refused to pump more during the Biden years. They're pumping aggressively now. I wonder why. Maybe because when somebody says, you're like, I don't understand what you're talking about. We could probably take advantage of you. And then here comes Trump, and it's like, okay, hey, can we talk? Yeah. And that's something that the president has pushed them to do. That's the big difference right now. It's weird how that works when you have quality leadership at the top and somebody is like, hey, you might want to just do this and help us out a little bit. And they're like, nah, I don't really understand what that.
True international average of pressure.
Still don't know what that guy's talking about. Oh, Trump's in office? Yeah, all right, we're good. So a lot of positive news there on the economic front. Also, here's some other positive news. Kamala Harris got stripped of her Secret Service protection. Now, the only reason why I'm laughing about this is because that there are going to be people who are going to freak out about it. It's the vengeance. It's D. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the one that the left always uses? Why is it escaping me right now? The one. It's not vengeance. It's retribution. That's it. Okay, retribution. Thank you. I'm just looking at you, and for some reason, I saw you and I saw retribution. It's like, I didn't mean that in a negative way. It kind of came out that way. But yeah, so the Secret Service protection for Kamala Harris is gone. Now, some people are like, how dare he do this? Well, you know what? Here's a funny thing that happened on the way to the Secret Service office. You only get Secret Service protection for up to 6 months. That's what it's mandated. Former Vice President Protection Act mandates 6 months of Secret Service protection. So why does she still have it? And some people are like, hey, it is interesting. She paid for her own security on the tour for her book 107 Days, and she blew through $1.5 billion and accomplished nothing except enriching celebrities. That was from Jim Hansen, by the way, on X, and he's right.
It's not Kamala.
Yeah.
It's not Kamala. It's Kamala. Kamala Harris.
I know. So it's still always fun to play. I know we don't have a whole lot of opportunities to play that, so when you get the chance to do it. But, it was a directive that AutoPen authorized secretly that, give her some extra protection and just make it last as long as you possibly can and don't say anything. And of course, everybody's losing their mind over at MSME, whatever you call them. I don't know what they call themselves these days. They're very upset about this because it's retribution.
No, because the Secret Service works for weeks on these things. The security apparatus is planned for a very long time, so they weren't prepared for it. But it's also a piece of how Donald Trump works, right? Because it is retributive, right?
Retributive. D, you're the keeper of all things linguistic. Retributive. Is that a word? Retributive?
Retributive?
That's what he said. He said retributive. Okay.
It's a word.
Okay. Good. Retributive.
It's not just, we want to save money on the Secret Service or, this is weird.
No. What it is you only get 6 months of Secret Service protection. It's mandated by law. That's what it is. And for some reason, she got it longer because AutoPen decided to stretch it out a little bit. So it's got nothing to do with that. So stop the nonsense.
They do it because, some of the Harris folks said because of distractions from all of the things that are swirling around. And two, just because he doesn't like Vice President Kamala Harris.
Okay. Yeah. You sure about that? That's not what it is at all, but it doesn't matter because when you've got the left in this country who is really deep in the TDS, they're not going to think of it any other way. So that's just a funny story. And it would be really funny if in the past there were people talking about taking away Trump's Secret Service protection. I don't think anything like that ever happened. So you never have to worry.
Breaking news.
A bombshell. Oh, wait, this just in. Oh, yes, they did. Would you look at that? Back in 24, were they talking about this? No, were they?
Good morning, Chairman. It is a pleasure to have you. The Washington Post headline screams, if Trump is convicted, Secret Service protection may be obstacle to imprisonment. I thank you for your legislation. I have been saying for some time that any former president or federal official who has this type of protection and some of the other benefits of being a former member of office
must be taken away if they're Trump. That's it. That's I'm just filling in the blank for you. Now, you know that's not where they were going there on MSN, whatever they call it now these days. But in April of 24, they were certainly happy to take away Trump's Secret Service protection 3 months before the attempt on his life. Do you remember that part of the whole story? But you know, we don't like to bring that up. But Democrats were more than happy to start talking about stripping Secret Service protection and legislation to do so, figuring out any way that they possibly could. And yeah, so kind of spare us a little bit on that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on today. So let's talk about some of the other things that are hitting us here at Florida's Voice. Let's go. All right, coming up in just a minute, we got James Fishback who's going to join us, and we're just waiting for his arrival to join us to talk about this story and the president who decided that it was time to fire the Federal Reserve Board Governor Lisa Cook. And that was on Monday last week, arguing that there have been some criminal referrals that have been going on for alleged mortgage fraud. And that gave him the cause that he needed to take such an action. Well, there are more than a few people that are continuing to talk about this. And so in just a few more minutes, we're going to have a deeper conversation on that. We'll get to it. Also, a little closer to home here in the state of Florida, Tampa City Council has now unanimously passed a resolution during a meeting to condemn the actions of the governor. Why are they doing that? Well, you know, because it's the governor is doing a great job here in the state of Florida and the supermajority and the Republican thing. And you know how that works. Well, there's probably more. Because the governor and the legislature and the bills, House bills that were passed and now law to restrict or remove, quote, art, paintings, community, crosswalk expression, and safety enhancements. So this is the Democrats' fight right now. So for the left in the state of Florida, for Democrats, this is your hill right now. This is where you're going. Again, you're keeping this theme happening right now of the culture war to you is the most important battle. But there are people that are worried about their taxes and property. Well, we're not going to talk about property taxes. We're going to talk about crosswalks. That's seriously. So the governor and the legislature passed a law recently that holds there's no street art allowed. The Department of Transportation put out guidance recently, a couple of months ago, reminding everybody that this has been addressed statewide. Any issue under the sun, it doesn't matter, including the Blue Lives Matter that is out there, including the checkers that are in front of the Daytona Speedway. They all have to go. And during this meeting, the Tampa City Council said they're being held hostage by Tallahassee. How? Hostage? So this is, okay, so you're being held hostage because you're not allowed to have crosswalk art and what you want, which of course is going to be really woke and left-leaning and all of that. And for some reason, if you don't have that, we're being held hostage. No, it's a road. Like, why are you focused on that? Why don't you focus more on the community and the things that need to get done there? And maybe the discussion that's going to be coming up next legislative session on property tax. That would be nice. And some other things that are going on. But no, this is the hill to die on. Quote, we don't have a choice because they're holding us hostage. No, can you stop using the hyperbolic language? Nobody's holding you hostage. It's nothing like this. Will you stop talking like this? But not happening. What else did they say? Because it's always fun to hear this. We are dependent upon Florida Department of Transportation funding for so many things. So if they were to withhold funding from the city of Tampa because we failed to follow the rules, it's something we can't live with. So I just want to get this straight. This is where they're hanging their hat or dying on this hill. That you've got a law that takes place about street art and crosswalks and keeping them just cleaned up of any kind of art. Doesn't matter what it is, both sides. It could say Trump 2028, it's got to go. It could say something else. It could be a rainbow. It's got to go. Either way. And their whole thing is we've got funding that's going to be withheld because we are not willing to follow rules, and we can't live with that. Have you talked to your constituents about that? I'm just asking. Like, is that what they want you to really focus on here right now? Is that what they care about the most? I mean, maybe everything else is so good in the state of Florida and is being taken care of. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's exactly where the focus is. And that's the point. By the way, Nina, let me know when we do have, or Derek, let me know when we do have James Fish back on with us. I didn't know if he was going to be ready here. I know he's quite busy this afternoon, and we'll explain why in just a bit. Okay. But, yeah, going back to this, the new manual prohibits from the Florida DOT non-union traffic control, non-uniform traffic control devices like pavement markings on state and local roads. So, once again, just putting it out there. The Tampa City Council wants to pass a resolution because they want to stomp their feet and make some noise, and they want people to notice that the thing that they are fighting for their constituents the most in Tampa, crosswalks. And if we can't paint them, we're going to have to do something because we can't live with it. It sounds nutty to me. It really does. But maybe it's fine? No, it's not. All right. What else we got going on? Oh, a lot. There's a lot of TDS stories out there, too. Let's see. You know, it's always fun when you have an opportunity to talk about people on the left who have TDS, you know, Trump derangement syndrome. Some people don't like when you talk about TDS because they don't think it's real. And there are some people that will incorporate their TDS into other things and really show who they are. This, I thought, was stellar in not a good way. You had the ABC News reporter Terry Moran, by the way, fired ABC News reporter Terry Moran because the TDS is strong in this one. And he's upset about corporate media, you know, left-leaning media, because there's so much more that they can do. Now, when you listen to him speak, I'm putting this out there for you because I just want you to understand where we are in this country. There are certain things that you're going to find out coming up on this program today that the left, progressives, the Democrats, the media, the socialist, Marxist, communist, all the same thing, will never, ever, ever change on. Does it matter what has happened in reality? Their truth, not the truth. Keep that one in mind. Because the reality right now is what the media is. The reality is the media is as biased as Democrats are ugly. I just couldn't think of anything else. Not every Democrat is ugly, but they're ugly on the inside. That's the problem. You got to let it out. Because if you're beautiful on the outside, you're ugly on the inside. You got to get that ugly out. I think I covered myself well. Here's Terry Moran, who, of course, has TDS, who wanted to let everybody know that the media has to do more.
I think that...
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. I think that the business that I was in for all those years...
Yeah, the media, the news media, journalism.
Network news, corporate media, legacy media, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Is failing the American people.
Yeah, I got to agree. So far, I'm with you.
And they have corporate pressure on them, and they have kind of rules of what they can say and what they can't say.
They do? I thought journalism, you just go where the truth is. The truth. Not your truth, but the truth. I thought that was good journalism, hitting the streets, and you got that little pen in your ear there, and you got a funny hat on. I don't know, a little pad in your hand.
What they can describe and what they can't describe. The facts in front of them are eluding their coverage.
Wow, the facts in front of them eluding the coverage. All right, I'm interested in where you're going with this.
And I think that they are disserving the American people. I know that there's frustration there.
Yeah.
I know that people look at what they're doing and they're like, this is not enough.
Yeah, there's something wrong here. Like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be not enough. No.
They try to put it in their tone sometime as they read their piece or they speak to camera.
All right. This is starting to pivot into a place I'm not really following. Hold on a second. He's pivoting, everybody. Wait.
They can't say the words of what's happening.
Yeah.
And that's corporate pressure.
Yeah.
Look, Disney, is a multi-billion-dollar business, right? The ABC News, a little tiny speck in that giant empire.
Yeah.
The last thing that the head of Disney or anybody in these corporate offices wants is a problem with the president of the United States.
Oh, all right. I'm so sorry. I thought that Terry Moran, is it Moran or Moron? I'm not really sure. But anyway, he's a fired ABC journalist, reporter, right? Anchor, whatever he was. I thought he was talking about the media, like they're just not doing enough of journalism and digging in and really finding out the truth about anything. You follow the lead wherever it goes, even if it goes to places that are in your heart, they're disgusting and horrible and ugly. You just got to go for the truth because there's the truth, not your truth. But no, that's not what he was talking about. He's upset because the media is not doing enough to go after Trump. No, I'm not kidding. So then they need to be more biased in their coverage against Trump. They're just not doing enough. I had no idea that he was going there, but that's exactly where he went. And again, just so everybody understands, the TDS is strong in this one. It's still strong in the country, and I got tons more examples. There's even a Rosie O'Donnell example of let's just put it this way. Is it her truth, not the truth? It's definitely a lie, but she's getting a lot of her information, especially on the Minnesota shooter, the Catholic school shooter. She's getting a lot of mis and disinformation. I wonder where she's getting that from. All right, we'll have more coming up in just a minute. But first, everybody needs to know air conditioning. You don't need to know about air conditioning, but you need to know whether or not your air conditioner is running properly. It's an important part of life. Can you imagine what a world looked like without air conditioning? There was a time when people knew way back in the day what it looked like, and right now it's quite different. But we've got to have it. Strata Air Conditioning and Heating understands they are here when you need them most, especially if your air conditioning unit has gone down and it's time for you to get a new one. Well, you can get a hold of Strata AC because right now they've got 0% interest, 36 months with approved credit on any new energy-efficient Goodman system, and you can shop with confidence with a $500 best price guarantee. So why not find out more about what they can do in your house? They get the 5-star customer service they are committed to, which is fantastic, and the $500 best price guarantee, which helps as well. StrataAC.com. That's StrataAC.com. StradaAC.com. You ought to call Strata. License number CACO 43953. All right, let's take a break. And in just a few more minutes, when we come back, we will have Top of the News. We'll see what they are discussing in the Florida's Voice newsroom. That is on the way. My name is Drew Steele. Anytime you want to check out the program, at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's Rock Solid Countertops and More. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead and in a changing world. You've gotta do it. Alfie and his team designed personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, anytime you want to check out the podcast, you can do that. Show goes up right after. Wait, the show goes up right after the show. Yeah, no, the podcast goes up right after the show. Anyway, just go to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele anytime you want. You can listen 24/7 right there. All right, let's find out what's going on in the Florida's Voice newsroom.
Top of the news, Florida's headlines. Now.
All right. In the Florida's Voice newsroom, we've got, I believe it's AJC. Amber Jo Cooper's got the latest for us. What's up?
Hey, Drew.
Hey.
The newly sworn-in chair of the RNC is backing the president's push for a national GOP convention for midterms.
Oh.
That story tops the news at this hour. Republican National Committee Chair Joe Gruters from Florida is backing a new idea, and that is a national GOP convention before the 2026 midterms. The idea comes from President Trump, who posted about it on social media, saying it would help the party win big. Gruters responded on social media with a simple "let's go." So at this time, we don't have a date or location, but Florida, the home of both Trump and Gruters, is already being floated as a possible host. If it happens here, expect lots of businesses, hotels, and restaurants to benefit from revenue, and not to mention it would highlight the strong Republican presence here in the state. And a salmonella outbreak linked to eggs has sickened people in 14 states, including Florida. The CDC says 95 cases have been confirmed, with 18 hospitalizations but no deaths. The eggs came from Country Eggs LLC, which has now issued a recall. The CDC says most of the people who got sick had recently eaten eggs, and in some cases at the same restaurants. Consumers, you are being urged to check the eggs in your fridge and throw out any recalled cartons immediately. And Tampa City Council is pushing back after the state ordered the removal of colorful crosswalks designed by students. Governor Ron DeSantis says a new law bans street art, and that includes safety enhancements like Tampa's Crosswalks to Classrooms project. The city says 47 crosswalks will have to be removed or sandblasted. One council member says it breaks his heart and that he accused Tallahassee of holding the city hostage by threatening to hold back on funding. Well, that's all for now. I'll be back at 4:35 to tell you how Florida is making sure that no one is spying on you. I'm senior reporter Amber Jo Cooper for Florida's Voice. Drew, back over to you.
Yeah, well, I would stick around for that. I want to make sure that nobody's spying on me. That's a good one. All right, flvoicenews.com. Florida's Voice is the website. Anytime you want to check out the stories that they're working on. I don't know, D. This sounds like a pretty interesting proposition here. So the president is floating a midterm convention, and the RNC chair Joe Gruters is like, yeah, what do you think about that? So that's actually an interesting proposition if you think about it, because why not have everyone get together and get excited and talk about all the things that are going on and all the good news, big convention, leading into the 26 midterms. Like, why does it have to be once every 4 years? Why can't it be biannually? Or
right. It's not why are they wanting to have a convention. It's why not.
Right. So, you've got the American people who are excited about what has been happening with the president, this administration, with the party, and the president talking about win big in the midterms, help rally the base. It makes perfect sense. And if, I was going to say, it's not like there are rules. Like, the Democrats aren't going to say, you can't do that. You're only allowed to do it. Oh, shush it. I almost said something else. We never say shut up on this program. We never tell people to shut up. Only cats. Is that true? Is it just cats? Because we don't tell dogs to shut up. We just tell the cats to tone it down a little bit. Because sometimes Okay, sorry. Anyway, all right. So let's stay away from people's pets. There's nothing wrong with cats. We love cats. But Republican Party is doing really well. Millions of people have joined us in a quest to make America great again. We want every aspect of the presidential election, and based on the great success we're having, are poised to win big in the midterm. So Why not do this? The president feels really good about the idea. The RNC, Joe Gruters, says, "Come on, let's do it." I think it's a fantastic idea. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And hey, look, we'll see. We'll see if that goes down. All right. What else do we have going on right now? All right. 866-588-8303 is the number in case you want to give us a call. 866-588-8303. A couple of things that we've been keeping an eye on is obviously after the horrific shooting in Minneapolis at the Catholic school, after a lot of what we've been witnessing in this country, the importance of law enforcement, the importance of the tough conversations, the importance of hardening our schools so much with this that we have to continue to discuss. Hunter Pollack is joining us right now on Florida's Voice. He's an attorney, an activist, and it's just great to have him on the program. Hopefully he can hear me okay. Let's bring him in right now. Okay, fantastic. How are you, Hunter? Good to see you.
I didn't know if we were live or not.
Oh, we're live. We are live, my friend.
Thanks for having me on, Drew.
No, absolutely. No, it's good too.
I like Florida Voice. I'm a Floridian myself, passionate about the state, heard a lot about the good work you guys do, and appreciate the time.
Oh, well, we appreciate you joining us. Yeah, a couple of things after the tragic Minneapolis Catholic school shooting. One of the things I'm sure that you've been bringing up is law enforcement, the ability to make sure that they can do their jobs, the ability to keep our kids safe, and to kind of keep away from and stay away from a lot of what is the noise about guns in schools, teachers, guardians, all the things that people, when they hear that, there are certain individuals that shy away from it. They get very upset. They don't want to bring that up. Almost like they don't live in the world that we live in. They live in this imaginary world that doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean?
I get it. So the gun control debate's been going on way longer than I'm alive, and potentially even longer than you've been alive. So after Meadow was killed, my family decided, let's do what's practical. Let's harden our schools. Let's work on fixing the mental health crisis that is in Florida. And let's work with law enforcement officers to make sure they have the right training and to hold officials accountable who failed my sister that day. And we've kind of carried that model up until today. I'm still working on making our schools safer. But to go back to what you were saying about gun control, so gun control is not going to fix this problem. In fact, 92% of mass shootings happen in gun-free zones. I think we need to get rid of gun-free zones. Not saying, you should be able to bring a gun into a school or something if you're not permitted to, but by getting rid of gun-free zones, I mean getting rid of the signs that says this is a gun-free zone, because it's like pretty much telling a mass shooter to walk right in because no one's there to defend the kids in the school. It's time to get rid of those. And in addition to that, we need to get more armed guards at schools, because I want to live in a country where 0 innocent kids are being killed by evil people. And if that's having good guys with guns to stop the bad guys, then let's do it.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. And, Hunter, there are things that we kind of have to, the left loves to have the conversation. They love to have the talk. Well, I can talk just as honestly and openly as anybody else. And number one, you have to live in the world that we live in, which is that evil exists. It does. What you're trying to do is minimize evil as much as you possibly can. And the suggestion that you're going to keep ways to minimize the evil away from our kids, the suggestion that you're not going to do it because you have a political agenda, is dangerous. That's just me talking. That's my concern. And that's what ends up happening a lot of the times in this debate. It's kind of like, if you don't mind me saying, the problem that I believe there is with deep, serious conversations about people's ideology when it comes to, let's say, transgenderism. And if I'm told that any question I ask about a person, any individual, it's not that I hate them, but if there's some person that I'm looking at, or if a kid sees someone in a school who maybe is transgender, let's just say, and use that as an example, and they're really concerned about the way they're acting, there's something not right. They feel that they could do harm to others. And teachers and others are telling you that no, any comment that you make about that person not being right is only because you're istanobia, fill in the blank. And when that happens and you get dismissive when people are concerned, bad things can happen. Does that make sense?
It does. I haven't heard a case where an incident where a kid might have been making fun of a transgender and the teacher got involved. However, if that student was threatening to shoot up the school, or that student was threatening to cause violence, and the teacher commented that to another student who told the teacher, notified the teacher what the trans child was doing. I don't care if the child's trans, not trans, boy, girl, gay,
right,
straight.
Of course.
If the kid's threatening to shoot up the school or cause violence, and a teacher tells a student not to act because you're being homophobic or whatever the word is, that teacher has no place being a teacher, because with a lot of these shooters, what happens is they're walking red flags. Parkland, they slipped through the cracks. Everyone in the school knew. They called him crazy kid. They used to frisk him to come on campus. And then I was reading the Uvalde report this week to learn more facts about what happened at Robb Elementary School in Texas. Yeah. They also admit that that kid slipped through the cracks. And that's usually the case with every mass killer. They don't just wake up one day, grab a gun, walk into school and say, I'm going to kill kids. And I never told anyone that there were no warning signs or no red flags or no one knew who I was. So if that's the case and the teacher were to do that and prevent the student from speaking up, then that teacher has no place working at a school. Right. And I think we need to start teaching teachers how to look for red flags and warning signs on schools. And we need to get rid of the handcuffs behind law enforcement officers so they start reporting these children as well. But in no society should we be worried about what others think is politically correct or not, because what is most important is protecting our children.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Hunter Pollock joining
us. And good will always fight evil. Like you said, you're talking good and evil.
Yeah.
Good will always fight evil. But as long as us good people are alive, we have to do everything we can to make sure zero innocent children are killed in school.
Right. Exactly. No, that's the point. You do everything you possibly can to minimize. You know, that's when people dismiss, you know, the good guy with the gun as opposed to the bad guy with the gun. You know, you're doing things and let's just say something would happen anyway. They try to make an excuse that, well, look at how many lives were lost. And you say, well, without that person there, the good guy with the gun who was able to minimize it, it could have been worse. To some people, that's not even enough. Like, that's not good enough. And we only can do what we can do. And getting back to one other thing, Hunter, before we go, and I think this is something that a lot of people don't remember, and we got about a minute and a half, so maybe you can talk about this. You know, you go back to Parkland and the political ideology that was in the district brought by Barack Obama's administration to Broward and to the area that people don't understand. There's a reason why certain people and that individual fell through the cracks. That's the political ideology I'm worried about. You see what I'm saying, Hunter? Maybe you can explain to me.
You're talking about the Promise program.
Yep.
There was a program. So the administration under Obama, the Department of Education, they created like this. I think it's called like some type of guidance letter, dear colleague letter, that encouraged schools to kind of have softer disciplinary policies, because they wanted to bring down the level of kids getting in trouble. And it ended up just creating this culture where kids were able to get away with multiple misdemeanors per year and slip through the cracks and then graduate high school without a record. So people talk about background checks, but you're not going to have good background checks with policies like the ones Obama created, essentially because kids are growing from being in kindergarten all the way through graduating high school with zero records, zero mental health history, despite being bad kids, because programs like the Promise program really created a culture of leniency and handcuffed our schools administrators and handcuffed our school resource officers and police departments. So like my sister's killer was able to slip through the cracks because of these programs, but my family did a great job working with Governor Ron DeSantis to really reverse a lot of these things in Florida. And now Florida is the standard of states for school safety, beyond a bunch of other things, thanks to my family, Governor DeSantis. But unfortunately, we had to be the guinea pigs that, my beautiful sister was killed. And it took that to have people with courage to fight back against the left.
Yeah, no doubt. Hunter, listen, this was fantastic. I appreciate a few minutes of your time. I'm glad you could join us today on Florida's Voice. We'll see you soon, okay? All the best. God bless.
Thanks, my friend.
Okay, we'll see you. All right, let's take a break. My name is Drew Steele. It's Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
She checked it and she woke me up. She's like, hey, someone's rummaging through your truck. So I called them. I said, hey, your garage is open and my truck was just broken into. So I'm going to sit outside until you guys secure your garage without the person seeing me. And I grabbed a hold of their shirt and their right wrist. I said, listen, don't try to get away. I have plenty of experience with this. I'm really glad I had my Batman pajamas on because that gave me the extra confidence that I needed.
No, come on. D, did you hear about this story? Maybe you didn't, but you need to.
No, but I want to.
Okay. So it's a Florida man story, of course. Cape Coral, Florida. That's my sound effect, Dateline. Dateline 2025, Cape Coral. Okay. So guy named Kyle is sitting around and he's like, hey, looks like somebody's rummaging through our truck here outside of the house on one of those webcams or net cams or the ringy dingies there, the camera deals. And so the guy gets away. So he hops in the car, this guy, to say, I got to try to drive around the neighborhood and see if anything's going on. So I guess he drives around the neighborhood and he sees his neighbor's got his garage door open. It's like, oh, this is bad. So he gets a hold of the neighbor. He's like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but your garage door is open. You might want to close it because there's a dude that was rummaging around my truck and trying to steal stuff. And I guess he sat out there, and when the guy started to close the door, he realized that the dude was there, and he grabbed him. And all the while, he catches him while he was wearing Batman pajamas. And they have a picture with him and the police and everything standing there taking a picture with his Batman pajamas on. Now, the dude looks like he's older. Maybe it looks like there's a little gray in his beard. Possibly, I don't know, mid 40s, 50s, something like that. He seems like an older gentleman in his Batman pajamas. And I'm talking about like, hey, I bet your 8-year-old would love a pair of Batman pajamas. Like that kind of Batman pajamas. Like the footies and it looks like the footies.
Hey, let the dude live.
Okay.
Drew.
Okay. But it's
my gosh.
Well, shouldn't that be a part of this? That's not a part of the story. I mean, to me, exactly. Live and let live. And yeah, just kind of, sort of.
Live and let live and fight crime, man.
All right. Yeah, but I'm all right. Come on, put the crime fighting aside. Put the ridiculous local news doing, it wasn't Gotham City, but on a dark night in Cape Coral, police saw a man in Batman pajamas take down a burglar in his neighbor's garage. Like literally the local Fox 4 or whatever did that in Cape Coral. So, okay, put all that crazy ridiculousness aside for just a second. What is the age where it's not appropriate anymore to wear Batman PJs?
There is no age.
I'm talking, it's all black with the yellow, and it's got a fake belt, so it looks like you're wearing, like you look like Batman pajamas. There's no age. Like
no age.
85 years old, and it's like, hey, I gotta get my. That's okay.
No age. Not all heroes wear capes.
I think that was. That's what it says in the article written by the local Fox 4 news affiliate. Says not all heroes wear capes. Did you read the article?
You go.
Okay, that just
no. That's just a saying from me.
All right, I understand that, and it just I don't know. I feel like aren't they like nylon-y? Aren't they like itchy? That doesn't seem like something comfortable.
There's probably some cotton.
Yeah, they have cotton ones. Maybe it would be all right. And if I'm going to be truthful, and this program is very truthful, I kind of like footies. Do they have adult footies, like with the rubber on the bottom so you don't slip when you get out of bed?
The sticky so you don't slide on your floor?
Yeah. You know, that and...
It's a great Christmas morning outfit.
Right. But as everyday apparel, I'm just questioning. I don't know. Okay, you're supposed to be in bed. Nobody's supposed to know. But he was very proud of his Batman PJs. It's cool. All right.
Power to him.
Yeah, it is cool. All right. Good story.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way. No way. No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on your show.
Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important. We have an independent county elected sheriff that's the head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously. There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire. You can do whatever you set your mind to. I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times. Don't give up on yourself ever. Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the West Coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us a voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, everybody. So glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele. Big D on the other side of the glass right there. Nina's in the breaking newsroom, and you hanging out with us at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. And there were some people that were asking me about my shirt today. Do you see my shirt here? Red State Golf. Do you see that?
Pretty snazzy.
Yeah, it's got,
wish I had one.
It's really cool. It's and you can't see it very well. If you're watching it, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook, it's got little Uncle Sam's on it. That's all these little dots. They're all little Uncle Sam. It's so cool. Redstate.golf is the website. Redstate.golf. And you can check out these shirts and so much more. They've got lots of great Trump stuff. They've got clubs. I mean, they got all kinds of putters. It's fantastic what they have. So if you want to check it out and get a shirt just like this, and it's one of those nice, those shirts that feel like they hug you back. You got it on. It's like, oh, it's just so, like those shirts where you walk around and your wife touches you for a second, goes, oh, and then walks away from you. Come on, you have shirts like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those shirts where like somebody, your wife will touch you, not somebody, but your wife touches.
Nice shirts, yeah. Not like that one though.
Yeah, but it's very cool. All right, a lot of things that are going on today that we are watching. It seems and it feels like this whole, I guess the past couple of weeks, this whole year has been about deciding where you stand. It's about deciding who you want to stand with. It's about which ideology you relate to the most. Look, there might be people that are out there who are crazy progressives who think it's really good to defund the police departments and that Trump going into the crime-ridden D.C. and other crime-ridden cities, Chicago and the like, is all about militarizing. And you're nuts. I mean, really, that's nutty. That's not what it's all about. But you've got TDS so strong. You have to figure out whether or not you care about crime and you want it to go away and you want to do the best that you possibly can for your community, for others, or if you're just about the status quo because Trump. And there's other things that are going on as well. There are people who right now want you to believe that the governor of the state of California, Gavin Newsom, is actually a possibility of making his way to the presidency in 2028. Now, he's going to run. There are a lot of people that are going to run. Just because they do doesn't mean they should. It doesn't mean they'll win. But again, which side are you on? Where do you stand? There are people that are going to have to answer this question, for example, Riley Gaines was talking about this yesterday. I think we mentioned it the other day, but as she was on social media, and she just wanted to remind everybody some of the things that are happening in California right now.
I should a follower in California reach out and let me know that her daughter had to fill out a mental health accommodation form declaring that she had a mental health issue for, get this, not wanting to share the restroom, locker room, bathroom with a boy. Let that really, really sink in. In California, if you're a girl who doesn't want to use, a high school, middle school age girl, if you don't want to have to use the restroom next to a boy or forcibly undress next to a boy, that makes you mentally deranged.
As some would say in the past, excuse me? Yeah, that's it. Now, is that happening or is that not happening? You're going to have to defend it or defend that position. There are people who will say, yeah, you're the problem. The American people are going to have to decide whether or not on a national level they would be about that.
Not the boy who wants to be in that space, the boy declaring himself to be something that he's not. No, that's totally sane, totally sound in the mind, but you are the one with a mental health issue. Here's a photo of the mental health accommodation request. You can see it right at the top. This happened in the Temecula Valley Unified School District.
Oh, well, there it is. All right. So if you were like, it's not really happening. Well, she's got what they call the receipts. There's the form. How about that? Again, you have to decide where you stand on these issues. And if you think that the 80-20, 90-10, 93-7 issues, 97-3 issues are the hill to die on, and you're on the 7 and 20 side of things, we're going to find out quickly whether or not you are going to succeed nationally as a politician or a presidential candidate. Even this that was being discussed on Fox News.
Well, California lawmakers are moving forward with a bill that some critics are calling legal kidnapping.
Excuse me? Again, excuse me?
It's called the Family Preparedness Act. It would expand options for people to seek temporary guardianships or step in as caregivers. And that means adults who are not relatives would be allowed to make short-term educational, healthcare decisions for those kids without parental consent.
Do you see what's happening here? Do you see what's going on in California? And don't think for one second that whether it's Mamdani in New York or whether it's Newsom in California, with all of these things that are being proposed, don't you think for one second if there is a way to get this at a national level that they wouldn't do it?
Critics are warning that it could allow virtually any adult claiming a, quote, mentorship to step in, even against a parent's wishes. Detransition advocates write in a new opinion piece, quote, this bill would permit any adult to claim a mentoring relationship over any child, permit the child to live with that adult, and allow the adult mentor to claim an inability to contact the child's actual parents if the law declares that any adult can declare authority over any child at any point. There is little a brave California parent will be able to do.
What? Yeah. So take that back for a second and think about this. Permitting any adult to claim a mentorship relationship over any child, permit the child to live with that adult, and allow the adult mentor to claim an inability to contact the child's parents? So how could that be used? Now you got to play this out. You got to extrapolate. Is that the right word, D? Extrapolate. Do you like that word?
I need to know what you're going to say after.
All
that.
right, let's extrapolate this. Okay, what are the ramifications? What could happen from a bill like this? Maybe extrapolate was just a fancy word. It came in my head, and maybe I'm using it incorrectly.
Sounds like it's working.
Okay, good. So let's take it a step further. So what if there's a child who looks towards an adult that they see as a mentor. Could be, I don't know, I'm just setting up an imaginary proposition here. Could be a teacher who is looking at the child, sees the child has been depressed, is sad, there's something not right. And in conversation, they come to find out that they're just confused. They're just having moments that every single child in the history of the planet has had. Doubts about a lot of different things. Who I am, what the future holds, puberty, all kinds of different questions. And then let's just say that adult has an answer. And let's just say that answer could be that you're not really who you think you are. And let me mentor you. And maybe you can even live in my home where I can explain to you more about what it is that you really are. You know, your authentic self, as opposed to, I'm just making up a sentence. This is right off the top of my head. I'm just making it up. It probably sounds ridiculous and silly. I'm just saying. But if that were the case, man, this kind of thing would open something like that up. And I'm just wondering, going back to the lead here, you've got to decide where you stand. And I think in a lot of ways in 2024 in the election, everybody spoke loud and clear as to where they stand on the cultural issues. I think a lot of kids are starting to look for the truth as opposed to what we're told is their truth or someone else's truth. There's only one truth, and they're looking for it. Gen Zs and others who are looking for structure, and they're looking for order, and they're looking for truth. And they're finding it, but not in the places you think. And there's been quite the explosion, and we've talked about this, quite the uptick in Gen Z who really are looking for and looking towards faith as the place to find the truth. Good places, Catholic churches, Orthodoxy, different places to really find, again, structure, who they are, where they're at, and why they're here. And these are the things that sometimes make people uncomfortable talking about. I don't know why. Everything should be on the table. Unless, of course, if you're a progressive, where you're like, you say a progressive will say something to you, you answer them back with what you believe, and then they tell you to shut up, or you're a jerk, or something worse, because that's how the left operates. They don't want to have the debate. They just want to tell you that you stink, but use probably other words. All right, what else do we have going on here today? All right, let's check this out. So for those that don't know, it was recently, I guess it was a few days back, where you had the firing of the former CDC director, Susan Menares. People are very upset about this. There were people that were walking out of the CDC office, and, you know, the setup of the individuals who walked out of the office in protest, and you have a lineup of people in the street on both sides applauding and shaking their hands like, good for you for standing up to the man, you know, and Trump derangement syndrome and all that, and not really asking the deep questions about why someone would be fired at the CDC. And here's one person who has absolutely no problem speaking to reporters and explaining what's going on with this situation, among others. And it's Stephen Miller. And Stephen Miller was like, oh, hey, are these mics on? Excellent. You got any questions?
Okay, so how confident is the White House that you can permanently nominate a CDC director that sort of balances the vaccine stance of Kennedy with someone that could pass the Senate?
Well, as we know, I mean, so we'll find an incredible nominee. I'm not worried about that at all. But it's a good opportunity to talk about the CDC issue more broadly.
Yeah.
As we know, the CDC's credibility was shattered during the COVID era. This is now widely understood and widely acknowledged. And CDC used to be, of course, or seen widely around the world as a premier health agency.
Yep.
And much of the world discovered in the last few years that CDC was actually staffed by a lot of very partisan, very political bureaucrats who weren't at all concerned about public health and weren't actually very knowledgeable about public health.
No, really? Yeah, really. And it's a good thing we have places to go like social media. This program, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, Florida's Voice, the website, Florida's Voice. Let's just say any social media that you want to go to, FL Voice News, YouTube, Rumble X, and Facebook. Other places that you can go to hear what Stephen Miller is describing right now. Because if it was only up to the alphabet media outlets to get you the news, you'd be lost.
And we are working hard. And more importantly, Secretary Kennedy, one of the world's foremost voices, advocates, and experts on public health, is working hard to restore the credibility and the integrity of CDC as a scientific organization committed to the scientific method and getting to the root causes of the public health epidemic in this country. You know, there's one chronic illness after another where we have seen incidences and rates in the Western world in general, in America in particular, skyrocket over recent decades and years, both childhood illnesses and adult illnesses. And we know that the drivers of these chronic illnesses are things that can be explained both through environmental factors, both through pharmacological factors, as well as other things that impact public health and well-being. But there has been no serious effort until Secretary Kennedy came along to deal with these systemic root drivers of chronic health. And it's an honor to be able to work with Secretary Kennedy as he tackles these issues on behalf.
Yeah. And so he's tackling the issues. He wants to get to the root cause. He wants transparency and be able to articulate exactly what is going on and what has happened in the past, as Stephen Miller was doing right there. And just a reminder of the firing of the former CDC director and not being on the same page. You know, you do believe that there are people who are in places maybe where you work, maybe that have been hired at a place where you are employed, or even at the federal government, where it feels as if maybe they have a different agenda than you have. And I don't know, Deep, it seems to make sense to me that if your agenda is not my agenda, and I'm trying to go down the left side of the road, and you're trying to pull me to the right side of the road, how, as an employee that I have brought you in, am I going to get to the left side of the road if you keep pulling me over to the right? Or vice versa. I don't know if is that a good kind of analogy? Do you see what I'm saying? You want to be on the same page.
Honestly, not following 100%. Sorry.
Thanks. You got to have people on board. You have to have people who believe in your agenda. And they've got to be on the same page with you. If not, bad things can happen. Like people who go rogue and decide that they don't want to do what you tell them they need to do in order to stay employed. How about that? Does that make sense?
Okay, that's better.
That's all right. All right. So the pulling of the road, I don't know. I like driving. Anyway, so just so everyone's aware, one of the people who decided to resign after they found out that the top CDC official, a top CDC official resigned after they found out about the CDC director getting fired. And Scott Jennings on CNN wanted to remind everybody that maybe there's a little piece of info that not everybody knows about with some of what the agenda of certain individuals is, and also, or are, and also the things that they have said and projected out there that might not be what the CDC needs.
I just have to say, he did use the term pregnant people in his resignation.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. If that is like the way you're presenting information, I have questions about your credibility.
Yeah, and they're arguing with him. If you're saying, instead of saying pregnant women, you say pregnant people. If you're pulling that at the CDC, yep, bye, out you go. I might have an issue with your credibility. Just saying. And listen to everyone on the CNN panel absolutely melting down about that.
Scott, it's so amazing.
It's not a ruse. He really wrote it down.
We are talking
this guy's not credible to me. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah, and not to a lot of people when you say things like that. there might be Supreme Court justices that you have a problem with credibility when it comes to what is a woman. But anyway, I digress.
Are you serious?
Come on. No, he is not credible.
No. Are you serious that this is
yes, he did write it.
That of all the things that we're talking about here, immunizations, vaccines, autism, the research about on communicable diseases, on cancer, and you are the most concerned about someone's use of the word people.
No. You see what they're doing? No. See, if we really do care about what she just described and all of the different things about autism and vaccines and keeping Americans healthy and all the things that she described, if we're trying to get to the best place we possibly can, do we really want somebody at the CDC who says pregnant people? Do you think that maybe there might be a problem there? Like if nothing else, using that term at the CDC, okay, is a problem. But then it also goes down to ideology. Again, where do you stand? That's where we started the hour at. Where do you stand? And if you're insisting that you have to do this, what else are you insisting you have to do with language? Oh, it's just words. It means nothing. You sure about that? No. No, words have consequences. And how are you supposed to explore more about different aspects of vaccines and medications and pharmaceuticals and more, and keeping people healthy if you don't want to admit what a woman is? Is that off base? Again, this is the kind of thing that we are having to deal with here in the state. But not anymore. What else we got? Because I'm moving on. What else we got going on? All right, let's talk about the state of Florida. A couple of things that are happening here. I guess there was an investigation into a criminal scheme that allowed non-English speaking individuals to cheat on their commercial driver's license. The CDLs? Exposing a link between fraud and fatal crashes. A report was out there by First Coast News, detailing how a group of men, including 5 who were arrested in Jacksonville, used hidden cameras and earpieces to receive test answers from accomplices outside of a DMV testing center. Excuse me? The scheme, which the Florida Highway Patrol called organized fraud, allowed applicants to obtain a CDL without a proper understanding of English or road signs. The danger of the scheme was tragically illustrated, obviously, by the fatal crash in South Florida. So, the way it went down, individuals rigged with hidden technology to receive answers from an accomplice outside the DMV. Body cam footage from a Jacksonville sheriff showed one man wearing a chest harness that held a phone with a camera, which was concealed under a T-shirt with a hole cut into it. And then the man would stand in front of a computer and the accomplice would read the test questions on the screen and relay the correct answers through a hidden earpiece. I can't believe it. Wow, believe it. We'll have more on that coming up. But man, got to stay vigilant. Good for the sheriff's department catching that. Incredible. Good for you for catching on when it comes to your air conditioner and understanding when things just aren't running right and being aware of that. And Strata Air Conditioning and Heating understands that, look, maybe your unit is fine, but it just needs some tweaks. Maybe it needs a tune-up. Strata AC tune-up might be the perfect thing for you in your home. Or maybe you need a unit, a brand new one, 10 years or older. It's time to start thinking about it. And Strata's committed to 5-star customer service. So if that's you and you're kind of concerned about your air conditioning unit, why not visit StrataAC.com across the state of Florida, StrataAC.com. You can schedule an appointment, get a text confirmation, even track your text progress on their way to your home. It's a very cool tech, and they are a fantastic company. StradaAC.com. You oughta call Strata. License number CACO 43953. All right, let's take a break right now. When we come back in a couple of more minutes, we'll find out what they're working on in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We call it Top of the News. And then we'll have more with you. By the way, anytime you want to call, 866-588-8303 is the number. My name is Drew Steele. It's Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's Rock Solid Countertops and More. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 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 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wildlands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead and in a changing world. You've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, anytime you want to watch it, FL Voice News, YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook, the podcast goes up right after the program. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast. Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get them. All right, let's find out what's going on in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We call this Top of the News.
Top of the News, Florida's headlines. Now.
Amber Jo Cooper, she's got the latest. We call her AJC. She's in the newsroom right now. What's up?
Hey there, Drew.
Hey.
Happy Friday. New today, Florida officials want to know exactly what kind of information about you is being collected by a technology company. Florida's Attorney General, James Uthmeier, is investigating whether a home security company put your privacy at risk. He has issued a subpoena to Lorex Technology over concerns about foreign spying and data security. The probe centers on Lorex's ties to a Chinese surveillance company and whether Florida consumers were misled about who has access to their cameras and data. Uthmeier says, quote, Florida won't tolerate the Chinese Communist Party spying on American families. Anyone who thinks that they were misled can file a complaint. We have that information on our website. And Florida could be the nation's spotlight if an idea from President Trump moves forward. Republican National Committee Chair Joe Gruters is backing a surprising idea, and that is to hold a national GOP convention before the 2026 midterms, possibly in Florida. The idea came from President Trump, who posted about it on social media, saying it would help the party win big. Gruters responded with a simple, let's go. No date or location yet, but Florida is the home of both Trump and Gruters, and if it does, it would definitely bring big business to hotels, restaurants, and other service industries. Tampa City Council is pushing back after the state ordered the removal of colorful crosswalks designed by students. Governor Ron DeSantis says a new law bans street art, and that includes safety enhancements like Tampa's Crosswalks to Classrooms project. The city says 47 crosswalks will have to be removed or sandblasted. One council member says it breaks his heart, and he accused Tallahassee of holding the city hostage by threatening to hold back on funding. Well, that's all for this hour. Be sure to follow us on social media, X, Instagram, and Facebook, and head over to our website for more stories like this. I'm senior reporter Amber Jo Cooper for Florida's Voice. Drew, tossing it back over to you.
All right, thanks, AJC in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We appreciate it. Anytime you want to check out the stories they're working on, FL Voice News, the website. And then anytime you want to follow on social media, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. Coming up, scheduled to join us, the CFO of the great state of Florida is Blazing Golia. He's right, D, isn't he scheduled to come up any moment now? I believe.
Any minute now.
Any minute now. All right, so we'll see. And also a couple of other stories that are out there, including some... All right, D, I'm just going to give this to you before we go to...
I've seen this. This is great.
Oh, boy. Here we go again. For some reason, the left feels like every time they want to do something that has to do with, some progressive socialist, Marxist, communist ideas, that they've got to get together and sing songs. And here you go, everybody. This is, does it really matter? Here's the left.
If the boss gets in the way,
all right.
And if the boss gets in the way, we're gonna roll right over him. What? Roll right over him.
What?
Roll right over him. And if the boss gets in the way, we're gonna roll right over him. We're gonna roll the union on.
There you go. It got a little weirder. I don't want to play a whole lot more of that because it was strange enough. So there you go. There's a bunch of progressive, crazy lefties. You know it because the front row. If you can't see, the front row is basically four people that I don't think one of them looks like they're under the age of 100. And it looks like is the one dude D wearing a cape? Like, what is that? Or is it it's a flag.
A flag.
Is it the California flag? Is that what that is? The flag of California? I don't know. Does it matter? All I know is for some reason, when people get upset on the left, they think that the way to change hearts and minds is to sing dopey songs. I don't know. I don't know why. But I do know this. You should stop because it's embarrassing to all of us. All right. The CFO of the great state of Florida is Blaise Ngolia. He's joining us right now on Florida's Voice. It's always great to have him on. So would I call you Blaise now? Do I call you Chief? What do I have to call you now, sir?
Just Blaise. Blaise is fine.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure that's okay. I just want to make sure that's all right. First of all, a lot of great things are going on. How have you been? How have things been going? I know there's been a lot of news out there, including some record-breaking earnings that have happened, and some good things that are going on in the state with that.
Yeah, it's been really busy. Obviously, you've seen I've been traveling the state a lot. We've been auditing a lot of local cities and counties, trying to make sure that they're cutting out waste, fraud, and abuse as a prelude to a big tax cut that we're hoping is going to be on next November's ballot. So we're going to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive. And yeah, it's been fun. It's a lot of work, a lot of travel, but I love doing it for the people of the state of Florida.
Yeah. Well, I love seeing you out there, and no doubt about it, you're doing amazing work. And sometimes, I guess, there are some places that don't seem to get the idea, the message when it comes to doging, when it comes to being fiscally responsible with some other people's money. It's a strange thing how that works. Even in Orange County, there have been some issues there, people pushing back on some of the doging. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Orange County, we actually had to issue investigatory subpoenas to get some of the information that we wanted, but more specifically, get the information that we think that county employees actually deleted. So we got a tip from somebody inside Orange County government that the day before we arrived on site, our review teams, they were instructed to take some of the files that had the names or the keywords diversity, equity, or inclusion, and wipe those words away and put something else in its place. So this way, when we started a cursory review and we were searching for those items, they wouldn't show up on a search. And the way we found out that and validated that, yes, we think they actually did that, was there was about 1.2 million emails that we collected. They had given out 6 grants regarding diversity, equity, inclusion. And out of 1.2 emails, they only referenced 1 grant. So the other 5 just suddenly disappeared. So we issued subpoenas. We're trying to get in touch with these people, but it's almost like they're trying not to be served for the subpoenas. But we're not going to stop. This is important. Transparency is important. Holding your local government officials with reckless spending is important.
I hate to say that it doesn't surprise me, but it doesn't surprise me because there are people, and it's been like the theme of the day. One of the things I talked about was the fact that when you're discussing, for example, where you stand politically, your ideology, what you think is going to work, for example, in the state of Florida, you got to pick a side. And there are people who not only have picked a side, but are willing to do things that will protect their side, even if it means getting into trouble. I don't understand it, all under the guise of what? That we want to keep spending money into oblivion, like that we don't want to be responsible with other people's money. It doesn't make any sense. It boggles the mind.
From their perspective, they come from a place where they think throwing the money at a problem makes things better. And they also come from a place where they think that the more you do for people, the better people are going to be off. And there's just us on the other side that actually thinks the opposite, the direct 180 of that. So But here's the bottom line is that the proof is in the pudding. When you take something like New York, a state like New York, and a state like California, which is doing the opposite of what is happening in the state of Florida, then you can draw a direct contrast to what works and what doesn't work.
Right. And I think the frustrating thing too for a lot of people, Blaze, is that, you know, the success that we had here is always on display. Everybody can mimic the things that we do that have been successful, and there's been a lot of it. And yet they choose not to. And it's success in the works. Like it's not just talk. It's the deeds and then the results. And if you're not getting the results from being and having good conservative values and being fiscally responsible, then ultimately people are going to look for another answer. But they don't have to worry about that here because it's worked.
Yeah, Drew, you hit the nail on the head right there. If we weren't showing people results, then they wouldn't entrust us with supermajorities in the state government. And more importantly, people wouldn't be moving to the state of Florida in droves. So obviously they like what we're doing, and we're going to continue to do it. I truly believe that this state is the shining light for the other 49 states, because sometimes when Florida does something, they try to copy it. And when Florida speaks, other states listen.
Right. And, you know, there's a lot with you in that as well, you know, doing already out of the gate what you've been able to do and where you're willing to go with this. And the betterment of the people here in the state of Florida is so important. And I love what you're doing. Where are you now? Are you on the road already? I mean, do you ever sleep?
No, I tell you what, we were in Jacksonville earlier today.
Right.
We were in St. John's earlier today. I'm currently in Clay County on my way to Bradford County.
Wow. All right. So when they see you coming, people get worried a little bit when they see you coming. It's like, oh boy, we just got to make sure. Good. Hey, listen, let them do that. I mean, if you go into communities, Blaze, to be honest, if you're going into different communities, they should be worried if it's because there's things that are going on behind the scenes that they're not doing well. That's all that's all it is.
If you are an elected official in a city or a county and you are a good steward of taxpayer dollars and you're fiscally conservative with the money and you're not wasting money, then you should welcome us, because it would be a validation of what you're doing. But we can tell the counties as soon as we are on site that they just become very, very afraid, because they know what they're spending on and they know that we're going to find it.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Hey, anytime you want to come by, you know, you're always welcome. Love having you on. All right, so we'll
appreciate you, sir.
And don't wait. You gotta get some rest sooner or later. You're gonna rest this weekend. You're gonna be out there. You're gonna be working this weekend too. I just feel like,
Drew, I'm gonna be working this weekend.
I know
but I'm
you
never
are.
going. I'm not going to rest until we get property tax lowered in the state of Florida.
Hey, good. Next time you come on, you want to talk about that? We can talk about anything you want. So, you know, love having you on.
We'll do it.
All right.
You
see
got
you
it.
soon. All right.
Thank you, Drew.
All right. See you. God bless. There he goes. Blazing Golia. He's awesome. Love having an opportunity to hear from the CFO here at Florida's Voice. All right. Good stuff. I'm telling you, doesn't sleep. Working hard for the citizens of the state. And, you know, I love the point that it's with the governor, it's with the CFO, it's with the attorney general. You know, look, if you're talking to different municipalities, if you're there in different places, if there are things that are happening, especially when it comes to the CFO, and you got nothing to worry, it's like one of those things where if you have nothing to worry about, then you got nothing to worry about. I hope that makes sense. You know, just be good stewards of our tax dollars. I understand the temptation. It's been out there for time immemorial is that when you're spending other people's money, whew, there he goes. When it's your money, it's like, I got to get the value. I got to make sure it's the best. I got to keep an eye on it. But when it's somebody else's money, it's like, yeah, don't us. Okay. Just putting that out there. All right. 866-588-8303 is the phone number. What else do we have going on here at Florida's Voice? All right, let's see. Well, a lot coming up. More stories of TDS, including the latest from Rosie O'Donnell, who looks, she looks sad. I hate to say this, because she looks sad and broken is what she looks like. Maybe it's, I don't know, or maybe she just had a big Irish breakfast and I don't know, big Irish breakfast. So there's a lot of meat, a lot of I don't know if there's a lot of carbs in a big Irish breakfast. Right, she lives in Ireland, doesn't she? Isn't she the one that...
Yeah, I thought she was supposed to be happier outside the United States.
Yeah, but she looks miserable. And you'll see and hear from Rosie O'Donnell, if you're like, no thanks, you'll thank me when you hear this one, because it's important that you see where they are at. Also, I guess there's an update. I see Lisa Cook is trending right now on X, and I wonder what's going on with her. Lisa Cook, who we found out as the U.S. Federal Housing sent a second criminal referral in the matter of Lisa Cook. She used to be she's not supposed to be there working for the Fed as a Fed governor, because she took out 3 mortgages in a matter of a few months. How did you do that? I don't know. Some lenders will be like, hey, I don't know. How did you get to do that? There's a lot of questions with this. We'll see coming up.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Patrick Mahomes watching this game tonight. Dylan Raiola, his protege on the field.
How about the newly engaged couple? Travis Kelce, we saw him on the field pregame with Taylor Swift, his fiance, in the building. Congrats.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go. I don't know if D, are you there on the other side of the glass? Are you?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. All right, so the ESPN college football Arrowhead Stadium between Nebraska and Cincinnati. Mahomes' wife is there, and guess who else is there? The newly engaged couple. I wonder who that is, D. Do you know who that is? Have you heard the news yet? Do you know?
Who is it?
Yeah. So is it... Okay, is this going to be a thing now? I mean, look.
Yes.
Okay. You know where I'm going with this. Because they asked the vice president the other day about this. And he was... I don't know if I can find the video in time, but did you hear... the vice president, when he was asked about Taylor Swift and the engagement, I think it was like
he
USA
said something
Today.
like, I wish them well or something, and then he just didn't want to talk about anything else about it.
Yeah, but here's the rest of the video. Now, this is where I'm like, he might have a point. So he said this. Listen.
Politics. You know, I think by and large, people want politicians to focus on politics, and they want celebrities to focus on whatever it is that made them famous, whether it's singing or dancing or acting. But, you know, I'm a romantic. When I see two people who are in love getting married, I just wish them the best, and I congratulate them, and I hope they have a very long and healthy and happy life.
But there's a button here, D.
Together. I will say, as a football fan, as a Cincinnati Bengals fan, I hope that the NFL does not put a thumb on the scale for the Kansas City Chiefs. Just because Travis Kelce is now getting married to maybe the most famous woman in the world, you guys can't sort of have this. I'm worried they're going to have like a Super Bowl wedding thing.
Oh, D, is he wrong? I think he's spot on.
He is not.
I think he's spot on. That's what he's worried about. It's like, listen, this is fine. It's great. It's beautiful. Wedded bliss to the beautiful couple. Let's hope that everything is wonderful, because he's a romantic. He gets it. But we're not going to do this now, right? This isn't going to be a every minute of every day, every sport on ESPN is now going to somehow incorporate Taylor Swift and Kelce in there somehow. And then all of a sudden it's going to be Super Bowl wedding, and they're going to get married at the 50-yard line, and it's going to be this whole big... They wouldn't do that to us, would they? Would they?
You'd be surprised.
What do you think? Do you think they would do something like that? Well,
I hope they don't. Well, I hope, like he said, the thumb doesn't get pushed on the scale for the Chiefs, but if it does... It'll happen.
Wait a second. Like it hasn't already?
I meant if they push the thumb any further onto the scale.
I was going to say, it's already...
With more pressure.
It's already pretty much on the scale. If they press any further, it's going to break the scale. So, yeah, I think that's what people... You know, most people are like, okay, whatevs. I want to watch the football game. Okay, and they believe that they're bringing in a new audience, and okay, it's possible. But if they go that far, if it's like... The two of them get married in some exotic place because, you know, they're super wealthy and they do the whole thing, and it's, you know, paparazzi and everything else. And then they're like, hey, for our fans, we want to do a wedding ceremony at the 50-yard line. I don't know what I would do. I might spit out my Bud Light. I don't know. It just might get that bad. I really don't. I don't know.
Why are you drinking Bud Light?
You know, I thought that was I actually thought that was funny. That was the whole culture thing. And anyway, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We're going to move on now. That's what I think we do. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was waiting for the music to kick in. I was like, is the music going to kick in anytime now? Help me out. All right. 866-588-8303 is the phone number anytime you want to watch it. FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. All right, a lot more to discuss on all different... I don't know where we're going today. I haven't decided. It's a crazy day.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on the show.
Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important.
We have an independent county elected sheriff that's the head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, a Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the West Coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, everybody. So glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele. Big D on the other side of the glass. You got Nina in the breaking newsroom. You hanging out with us at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. We appreciate it. Anytime you want to check out the podcast, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. The podcast goes up right after the show, streaming live at drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. You can go there to listen anytime you would like as well. Busy day today. It's been already so many stories that are going on. But one of the big themes has been certainly after the shooting there in Minnesota in the Catholic school. There have been questions about a lot of things, hardenings of schools. There have been questions about SSRIs and really having the blunt and honest discussion about things that are around us each and every day and their use. And State Senator Jonathan Martin is joining us right now on Florida's Voice because he has some thoughts on this and actually wants to file a bill that has to do with SSRI. So I know he's mobile right now, but I'm glad that we had an opportunity to talk to him for a few minutes. How are you, sir?
Hey, Drew, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well. Everything is good. So tell me what you got going on right now as far as this bill that you're going to file.
So one thing that has always interested me about these tragic situations with shooters who go into schools, prey on our young kids, our defenseless individuals, of course, in gun-free zones. We really get amped up, and then there's really no closure. It takes years sometimes for investigations to take place. We know that after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting, there was an entire report that went out, but of course, the we learn what
All right, 866-588-8303 is the phone number. Sorry about that. We got a little disconnect there, but we're going to get Jonathan back on here in just a second here at Florida's Voice. Sorry about that. Let's get him back on the line. All right, Jonathan, sorry about that. Let's start from the beginning because we kind of lost you there for a second. So as you've been looking at the history of what has happened with these situations, what has come up in your mind?
Well, we have a lot of information that gets dumped on us as a society. Of course, the victims' families are dealing with a lot of this. And all of a sudden, if the person who did these shootings or did these mass terror events kills themselves in the process, there's no criminal investigation to follow up. There's nothing that's publicly released. And there's still a lot of questions that are out there. One of the things that we've learned through reporters, when they do their jobs, when they care about getting information out, as we find out a lot of these shooters, especially the ones that tug at our hearts that are involved with elementary schools and young kids, they have a checkered mental history. They have issues. They've been under the care of doctors, but we don't really know what's going on. And I think society, we get nervous about this. There's not a lot of closure. There's not a lot of information that's provided. And so we move on from tragedy to tragedy with really not understanding, is there a big component that we're missing? So what I'd like to do is clarify that HIPAA doesn't apply to mass shooters who have killed themselves or who have been killed by a law-abiding citizen or a responding law enforcement officer, so that this information could get out there to the public so that we can start to learn more about the motivations or the checkered mental history that's taking place, so we can learn from our mistakes, from society's mistakes, and we can move forward and we can minimize and eliminate these threats in the future. That's the goal.
Yeah. I was just looking at a post by Miranda Devine as she was putting up something that was put out just a few days ago by America First Legal, who said that the Biden FDA knew, for example, that puberty blockers were linked to, quote, increased risk of depression and suicidality, yet they still recommended approving them for kids. Like, the information is out there now. These kind of things are being exposed, Jonathan. These are the kind of things that we need to really have an open debate and discussion about, right?
Right. And if we really care about the safety of our kids, we have to get the information that shows what is causing them to be put in harm's way and how we can take that information and make our kids and communities safer.
Right. No doubt. And I wonder, as you've talked to people about this, I think you even have someone who on the House side is like, hey, I'll co-sponsor this too. So there's kind of a feeling from some that this is a good thing to be doing. I think it's important that we do this. What about others? I mean, do you think this is like, what would be the pushback? Why would people, why would they not want this to happen? Go ahead.
So Drew, let me be clear. This isn't a fishing expedition for anybody who's ever taken an SSRI. This is for somebody who's committed a violent crime who would be prosecuted for first-degree murder or for terrorism. This is somebody who has forfeited their rights to live freely amongst us, but for the circumstances of the case, it is no longer alive. So we still need to find out the answers. There's too many questions that go unanswered, and we have to move this process forward. And frankly, we don't know if there's, like we've seen, psychiatrists. We don't know if there's somebody who's actually putting their thumb on the scale, forcing a kid down the wrong road, over-drugging them, over-medicating them, or providing just horrible treatment to begin with. And they're the ones actually being protected in the current situation. And we got to remove that, and we got to make sure that whoever is causing this, whether it's an individual who is just has unbelievable mental issues, or whether it's somebody in the mental health industry, if it's a government official, or some people want to talk about pharmaceutical companies, whatever it is, we're just going to sit here and we're going to continue to get angry at everybody. We're going to accuse everybody of contributing to this issue if we don't like those people, and we're never going to get to the actual answers. And the goal is to get to the answers. And for those who are concerned that HIPAA rights might be violated, there's plenty of carve-outs already in HIPAA for public safety purposes, for investigations involving crimes and murders. This is just clarifying that this is what the people expect, and making sure that healthcare companies are not going to push back when law enforcement is trying to get their trying to find out what happened, what went wrong, and how we can prevent these in the future.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Jonathan, good stuff. Keep us up to date on that, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? All the best. God
Thanks,
bless.
Drew. Have a great weekend.
All right, we'll see you. That's Jonathan Martin, is Florida State Senator, joining us on Florida's Voice. Pretty interesting stuff, and the kind of thing that, we've got to have conversations about. There's been a lot of that lately, these serious conversations. Here's a serious conversation that took place on CNN just the other day that I think is worth repeating and listening to the explanation, because just as there are people who are not going to want to have the deep, honest conversation about SSRIs, or not going to want to have the conversation about even cannabis, that's been coming up in the past 24 hours. We've been talking about this, and other things that people might take. That there's also the other side of what is some people who don't want to be told the truth over and over again because they have their political agenda. When Scott Jennings is on CNN and he is talking about an article in the New York Times that was saying that there's nothing more frightening than masked government agents. They keep talking about the masking of ICE agents over and over and over and over again, as if there's a reason why they're doing this that is nefarious. And time again, people have been told that that's not the case, that it has to be spelled out over and over again. And you've got to keep doing it on these fake news legacy media outlets, because it's the only way that they'll ever hear the truth, is to say it over and over again. What is the facts? And here's Scott Jennings, who has to do this again. And then make sure you're listening as you hear this to what the left side of the argument is with the masking of ICE agents.
Scott, I know you were going to say something. Scott was going to say something.
On the masks, I actually interviewed the director of ICE today, Todd Lyons, on my radio show for about 20 minutes. I asked him point blank about the masks. I said, what is the situation with the masks? Why is it happening? What is your observation? He said, I don't like the masks. I wish we didn't have to do the masks. He said, back in March, we weren't. But then something changed. And what changed was people started doxing these ICE agents, posting their personal information, posting where their families are, posting where their kids' schools are, putting them and their families in jeopardy. And he doesn't want them to have to do it.
Right. So, again, for the millionth time, to all of these crazy lefties who don't want to hear it, for the millionth time, this is why it's happening. This is why it's going on. How do you not get this? And again, they just can't help themselves because politics. And so now here comes Abby Phillips, after explaining to her for the millionth time, as well as everybody else, that this is why the ICE agents are masked. Here's the answer.
Risk that every law enforcement officer in this country faces. Everyone.
You think you think they should face
I'm not
that
saying,
risk?
listen, I'm not saying that is right. I'm not saying that is good. It's terrible. No one should be doxxed. No one's families should be brought into their work. But what I am saying is that there are beat officers in this country, in every city in America, who are doing their jobs in extremely dangerous situations, and they show their face. Why? Because they work for the people.
Whoa. That is the craziest argument. That's a terrible argument. So what about the police that walk a beat every day to keep the streets safe? They don't have to worry about showing their face, because people understand why they're there, and they want them there to keep their communities safe. And they're not people who are politically active to go after them, to have groups of people who will find them and dox them and do things and end up at their house. They don't do that because a political ideology has forced that idea on certain groups to go after ICE that way. It's a terrible argument. But that's, again, you're asking Democrats to fight for the safety of communities. And they're like, oh, we're about it just as much as you are. No, you're not. No, you absolutely are not. Not even close to being. But they prove each and every day where they really are. All right, what else do we have going on? I don't know. Let's see. What else do you want to talk about today? I know there is so much. All right. Do we want to go to? I might want to go to. No, I don't want to go to that one because we just had that up a little while ago. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't talk about Rosie. D, are you there? I don't think he's there. Are you back? Are you there? Not sure if D is there or not. If he can hear me. All right. I got his mic up just in case. I talked a little bit earlier about Rosie O'Donnell, and I feel bad for her because she seems miserable. I thought when she moved out of, what do you call it? Out of the, the United States and moved to, get this straight. Hi, everybody. My name is Drew Steele, and I need to get things straight. I'm trying to multitask. That's why. When Rosie O'Donnell decides that she's going to move out of the United States and move to Ireland, that's where she went. I thought it was because she was going to be super happy now. Everything was going to be okay. She was going to be glad. Life was going to be so much better because she wasn't going to be around Orange Man, because Orange Man bad. It's in the name, according to them. But she looks miserable, and she sounds miserable. I know some people might say she always sounded like that. No, but listen to what she had to say about the horrific Minneapolis Catholic school shooting and how she described it. And I have no idea whatsoever where she got this info from. Listen.
So about the Minnesota shooting, and it brought me right back to Columbine in 1999 when I just could not get it through my head that students in America were shooting each other in schools. And this was a church inside a Catholic school. And what do you know, was a white guy, Republican, MAGA person. What do you know?
Clearly nothing. D, did you hear that? Are you there?
What?
That's what I'm saying. What is she talking about? She thinks.
Where do they get their news from in Ireland?
I don't know. I don't know. Where did she get her news from? I gotta play that again.
When I just could not get it through my head that students in America were shooting each other in schools. And this was a church inside a Catholic school.
You hear, she sounds like maybe she's just sad about the situation. Okay, absolutely, she should be.
And what do you know, was a white guy, Republican, MAGA person. What do you know?
Nothing. Clearly, absolutely, positively nothing. Now, I don't know how many, the problem with Rosie O'Donnell is being Rosie O'Donnell. But the other problem with being Rosie O'Donnell is that I don't know how many people, can you check? How many people does she have following? I hate to do this to you, D, but you're going to have to do it because I can't. I need you to tell me, how many followers does she have on X, for example, social media, where she's posting this? Can you see Rosie O'Donnell and just look and see if you can find out?
1 million.
She's got 1 million followers. So that's 1 million people who were fed lies, flat out lies. And because it's Rosie O'Donnell, they're going to believe it? Like, that's crazy. Dangerous.
No, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm going to fact check myself.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Go ahead. You go ahead. Fact check.
You asked me where she posted that, how many followers she has. That was TikTok.
Oh.
I told you how many X followers she has.
All right. So yeah, she's probably has in the millions either way, but you see what I'm saying. I can't even believe it. It's nuts. All right. The other thing that's nuts is obviously what's going on with the media and the way they treat this administration, and even the latest that we got. I was looking at Eric Eldad, D-A-U-G-H, Eric Doherty's X account, as he was posting just a little while ago, Stephen Miller, who was doing this impromptu presser right there in front of the mics at the White House, and was asking about, I guess, French President Emmanuel Macron, who was doubting the president's peace deal prowess, because we're not really sure where we stand right now as it's starting to appear. Ukraine-Russia is just going to continue. Doesn't seem like a whole lot is going to change there. And so now the media feels like, oh, we got a gotcha.
The French president has said today that if Putin doesn't have talks with Zelensky, then President Trump will have been, quote, played. Is that true? Is President Trump being played by President Putin at the moment?
Such an absurd question. President Trump has achieved 7 peace deals in 7 months. No president in history has done more to advance the cause of peace. He's been nominated by multiple world leaders for the Nobel Peace Prize. Literally no president, not just in our lifetimes, but that I can think of in American history, and no world leader anywhere today, anywhere on earth, has done more to advance world peace than President Trump. He's ended the conflict between Israel and Iran. He's ended the conflict between Rwanda and Congo, between India and Pakistan, Azerbaijan. I mean, example after example after example. And obviously he's working steadfastly to end the killing in Ukraine. And keep in mind, this is President Biden's war. It started because of President Biden, and President Trump inherited President Biden's war, and he's working steadfastly to end the killing. And that's something that everyone in the world should celebrate.
Yeah, I think that's... that sounds spot on to me. I don't know about anybody else, but that gets a D ding if I do say so myself. Yeah. So really, do you really want to go there? Is that really going to be the conversation? So that is Stephen Miller putting the media in its place, and pretty much like, look, I don't think we really want to go there. And besides, once again, you've got the president of the United States who's doing anything and everything he possibly can to bring peace to, quite honestly, the planet. And you've got now what we see is the media who finds or believes that they have some kind of opportunity here to go ahead and jump all over what has been a little bit of trouble, no doubt about it. But, you know, the president is doing anything and everything he possibly can to bring peace. But as you can tell, you know, this is all about the press, who thinks that they can kind of mess things up, or kind of help to mess things up. Yeah. All right. 866-588-8303 is the phone number. 866-588-8303 is the phone number. Anytime that you would like to give us a call, we do appreciate it. And certainly we want to hear from you today. 866-588-8303. And when we come back in just a little bit here on Florida's Voice, we're going to talk about the top 5 audio clips of the day. My top 5 will be coming up momentarily, so we are looking forward to that. Always fun when we get the opportunity to do that. So that's going to be coming up in just a second. And looking forward to hearing from you. Like we said, anytime you want to check out the program at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. Anytime you want to check out the program, Florida's Voice, YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. You can go there. And also, don't forget that you also can check out the program on any of our social media accounts. We would love to hear from you. If you want to go ahead and message us on social media, you can do that as well. So messaging us on social media and the like.
Man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead, and in a changing world, you've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right. Anytime you want to check out the program, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. All right. We do this each and every day at this time. It is time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's my top 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Drew's top 5. Number 5.
Now, so the point about Uganda, you just have to marvel at this. The same left-wing NGOs who tell us that we should open our borders to all the poor countries of the world also tell us that it would be unfair, improper to have anybody live in those countries. Well, if if those countries don't have good systems of law and good systems of governance, then why would we want to have open migration from those countries? So these two propositions are in complete conflict. But more fundamentally, remember, Garcia has said he doesn't want to go back home to El Salvador. That's what he said. So we're honoring that request by providing him with an alternate place to live. We're not a travel booking agency. It's not our job to say to illegal alien terrorists, pick your favorite destination in the world and we'll send you a charter jet there. We have countries that have very graciously agreed to help resettle nationals from other countries, which is a great benefit to the United States. And obviously that's something that Garcia is eligible for.
D, I'm not sure if I've ever heard it put that way, but I guess that is an interesting proposition, right? Listen,
I like it put that way.
First of all, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man,
The Maryland man thought to be wrongly deported.
Deported Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
The Maryland man?
Yeah, the Maryland man. So, we're going to deport him, right? And we're not a travel booking agency. It's not our job to say illegal alien terrorists, hey, tell us what your favorite destination is in the world and we'll send a charter jet there for you. No, we're not doing that. So, yeah, we're going to send him to Uganda. Well, you can't do that because he doesn't speak the language. Well, he didn't speak English when he was here, and he was here for 10 years. What about that part? Also, the fact that we're not your booking agent. So it's not like you get to choose, hey, I don't want to go there. I want to go here. It's like, yeah, it kind of doesn't work that way.
Number 4.
This is stuff that affects real people's lives. Vaccines,
We're in National Immunization Awareness
immunization.
Month.
I hear the criticism from this person. I just have to say, he did use the term pregnant people in his resignation.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. If that is like the way you're presenting information, I have questions about your credibility.
Scott, it's so amazing.
It's not a ruse. He really wrote it down.
It's a ruse because people are dying.
This guy's not credible to me. That's all I'm telling you.
Scott, are you serious?
Come on.
No, he is not credible.
No. Are you serious that this is
yes, he did write it.
That of all the things that we're talking about here, immunizations, vaccines, autism, the research about on communicable diseases, on cancer, and you are the most concerned about someone's use of the word people.
No. Pregnant people. That's what we're concerned about. That is Scott Jennings, who's trying to explain to the lefties on CNN and Abby Phillips. One of a top CDC official resigned after the firing of the CDC director. And Scott Jennings is like, yeah, they probably didn't need to be there to begin with because they oftentimes use the word pregnant people instead of pregnant women. Only women can get pregnant. Sorry, newsflash. And so we're just thinking, at the CDC, if you have that kind of agenda, you probably don't have the same agenda as those who want to do right by the American people and find cures for cancer and different diseases and the like, and really have the same mindset that this administration does, for example. And they absolutely lost their minds that he would even suggest anything like that, which really is it's not good.
Number 3.
And now we have an exclusive look into a criminal investigation about just that. We've obtained documents about 5 people arrested in Jacksonville. We're showing only the face of the man already convicted. The charges, felonies.
Nope.
Cheating to get their CDL, commercial driver's license to drive a truck.
That's right. An investigation there in Jacksonville where they found out that 5 non-citizens were caught using hidden cameras and earpieces to cheat on the CDL exams. And they say it's happening all over the country. Well, I would assume. And unfortunately, as you can tell, these are the people that end up driving the 18-wheelers on the roadways. We already know, unfortunately, how that can and does end up sometimes here in South Florida. We understand that. But the fact that that was happening, they got caught in Jacksonville and going on around the country. Wow, there's a lot of work to do in staying vigilant on issues like this.
Number 2.
No, because the Secret Service works for weeks on these things. The security apparatus is planned for a very long time, so they weren't prepared for it. But it's also a piece of how Donald Trump works, right? Because it is retributive, right? It's not just, we want to save money on the Secret Service or, this is weird. They do it because, some of the Harris folks said because of distractions from all of the things that are swirling around. And two, just because he doesn't like Vice President Kamala Harris.
No, that's not why that happened at all. What happened that you might be wondering about and they're talking about? Well, the president of the United States decided to end the Secret Service protection for Kamala Harris. And everybody's like, oh, you know what this is? This is retributive. Is that the right word, D? Retributive? It's
retributive.
It's not retributive. It's retributive.
No, you're adding in an extra it.
Don't tell me what it is. What is it? Anyway, the point is that there it is on MSN, whatever they call themselves these days. You've got one of their experts who are very upset about Kamala Harris losing her Secret Service protection because it was AutoPen who added on a little bit there as they were leaving office that, listen, you can have protection for an extended period of time. But here's the thing. Vice presidents only get 6 months of protection by law. But for some reason, Kamala Harris still had it. It costs money, taxpayer dollars. And she's got a lot of money, right? I mean, whatever happened to the $1.5 billion during the camp? Oh, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to ask about that.
Number one.
If you're planning a road trip this holiday weekend, gas prices at their lowest level for a Labor Day weekend in years. In some states, they are below $3 a gallon. Matt Egan is here with the good news. We have to say goodbye to summer, but we're going to do it and save some cash.
That's right, Erica. Look, you are in luck if you're hitting the roads this holiday weekend. Gas Buddy is projecting the national average this Labor Day, $3.15 a gallon. That's the lowest since 2020.
Oh, no.
We will win, and we will win, and we will win.
That had a hut. That had a hut. That's what my one of my relatives from New York used to say it all the time when somebody, like, kid fell off the bike. Oh, that had a hurt. Anyway, that's CNN reporting on the Labor Day weekend and today. And here we are. Gas prices dropping down to its lowest level since 2020. And
we will win, and we will win, and we will win.
That's what it is.
Drew's Top 5.
But I want to play a little more of this. I want to see how it's, that's a gut punch. Oh, that had to hurt that they have to say all of this. So the fact that they're bringing up all this good news has got to hurt. So let's listen in because it should be fun.
Of course, back then the roads were pretty empty because of COVID. You can see the trend the past few years. The expectation is that prices will be a little bit lower than last year, but significantly lower than 3 years ago when we were looking at almost $4 a gallon. Of course, that was when gas prices had gone to record highs.
And Joe Biden, president of the United States.
And more good news, drivers in 15 states across the country, the average there is now below $3 a gallon.
Whoa, yeah, look at that.
We will win, and we will win, and we will win.
Just saying. Do we need more?
That includes Iowa, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas. And look, this is also very positive because we know that people are very frustrated right now with the high cost of living. Surveys show that people are upset because prices do remain high at the grocery store. They're looking at very high electric bills and elsewhere. So this certainly helps.
It helps. All right. So they had to throw some kind of negative in there because, I don't know. I guess maybe that's a question for you, as we are sitting here today, the two of us. How do you feel about prices of food and your everyday life? Has anything changed at all? Are you sensing a change? Are you personally feeling a change at all? Or are you still waiting for something to kick in?
I'm honestly not feeling too much of a change. I know when you look at prices on the shelves, you can see it, but I'm still just the guy who sees his grocery list, goes to the shelf and grabs it no matter what it is. If the price went up a little bit, I still like what I like. I'm buying it. It might hurt a little bit later on, but I like what I like.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if you are someone who is out there and you listen to what the dude said on CNN after saying things that they had to say and had to admit because, they had to talk about gas prices and they're lower and you can't fight it. But when you think about it, doesn't it really reek that we haven't had the interest rate drops yet, and how James Fishback, our friend from that joins us every once in a while, he's supposed to be with us today, but unfortunately very busy with some court cases that are going on at the Zoria and the Fed, and how these interest rates have not fallen. That, can you imagine where we would be right now and the boom that we would have if we started to see the interest rates ticking down? And that's where you're going to get the trickle. Why am I saying triple? The triple effect, the 3-time effect. No, the trickle effect of all of the great things that are going on right now. Some of the really, really positive economic numbers that we talked about today, earlier today.
Here is private sector wages up 0.7%. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. So we're hearing positive economic news, right? And there are some that are out there that are like, look, I'm still buying what I like. I'm still doing what I do, but I really would like to see a nice chunk of the money that I'm spending going down. It would be nice to see that. Well, that's why the interest rate issue is so important. Because, well, for obvious reasons. I mean, think about what's going on right now. Think about how when the interest rates go down, what that's going to mean for transporting goods, and the costs will go down. What that's going to mean for buying a house, making it affordable to dip your toe in there, to get in, where you just haven't been there yet, and you're right on the precipice. Big word for today, precipice. You're right there. You want to do it. But man, you just need to know that that rate's going to be lower and you'll be able to save a little more money. You're just not there yet. So for housing, auto, if you're going to buy a car, your insurance, all the different things, the costs to repair that car, which has to do with the insurance, the costs of repairing that roof, which has to do with the insurance, all of these different things that are so critical in the discussion. And so, you know, it's something that we've just got to continue to keep an eye on. It's something that, you know, we'll ultimately see how it plays out. But, you know, as we start to get through the rest of the week and start to get through the end of the year, it's definitely something that we have to keep an eye on and know that if that were to happen, and if we get that and get that little bit of relief coming our way, that, you know, it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a huge difference. All right, 866-588-8303 is the phone number. 866-588-8303 is the phone number. Anytime you want to check out the show at FL Voice News, YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, D, this is how I have to end the program today. All right, let me get to this video. Oh, this is so good. All right, did you see the video that took place when the vice president had a motorcade that was getting ready to go down the street? For those that don't know, okay, so you had the vice president whose motorcade was they're in Wisconsin, and they're getting ready to go down a road, and you got all the protesters that are out there. I mean, you know, they're an interesting bunch. Okay, so let me I'll show it on the video if you're watching at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. All right, so there they are. They're the protesters. They're standing there, and they're getting ready for the vice president's motorcade. And so they're all on the roadway, and they're all getting excited because they're going to, I don't know, scream and yell, and they're going to throw the sign that they have in front of the vice president. And, well, I guess as the story goes, the vice president knew, or they knew that they were going to be on a certain side of the road. And there's this big divide in between one road and the other road. And I guess they had it blocked off. And what they didn't realize is the vice president is going to drive on the other side of the road past what is this huge, like, park-like, how would you describe that, D? The section in between the two roadways. It's a massive grassy area, right? It's huge. That's
fair.
Okay, big, huge, massive grassy area. It's not like 10 steps. It's like you'd have to run across, and that's exactly what happened. So I guess the motorcade was like, hey, go to the opposite side of where the protesters are. So there's the motorcade making its way, and the people are like, oh no, we're on the wrong side of the road. And they're all running to the opposite side of the street across this grassy area to try to get in the vice president's face. And it's, oh no, we missed him. He didn't follow our rules. He didn't go down our road. So they had to run to the opposite side of the street. What a mess. Look at there they go. And there's like, instead of being like 50 of them, there was like 10 of them. They were like, oh, we got you, but we had to run. He made them run across the grass. Oh man, that is just, that is stellar. Did he know? Did you see the report on this, D? Did he know?
I'm not sure, but that is very Trump-esque.
Oh, man, so good. The ultimate troll. So there they are. They got duped by the motorcade, standing on the wrong side of the street. And it wasn't just like a little on the wrong side of the street. It was a massive grassy area that they had to run across. That's stellar work. All right, do we have anything else that's kind of fun to end the program? Because I don't want to be too serious as we end it up. Let's see. What do we have? I'm looking around at some of the things. Oh boy. Here you go. Why don't we end with this? Okay. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, whatever it is that you're doing. And I hope that your evening is going to be better. Maybe it's going to be an evening where you're going to have lots of people over the house. And the one thing that you want to make sure that doesn't take place is your air conditioning breaking down. Can you imagine having a ton of people at your house and your air conditioner is like it's gone? If that's you, and maybe it's already happened or you're worried about that happening, why not get a hold of Strata Air Conditioning and Heating? You know, they feel like homeowners should be able to, for example, select from a full range of air conditioning manufacturers and models, because you want to get the exact model and the exact system that's going to be perfect for your home, your lifestyle, your budget, right? And they service and sell every major manufacturer: Trane, Mitsubishi, Lennox, Carrier, Goodman, Daikin, every one of them. And they are committed to 5-star customer service as well. So if it's time for you to get a new air conditioning unit and you're not sure where to go, just told you where to go. Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. You can visit the website, strataac.com. That's strataac.com. You get a text confirmation, track your text progress to your home, stradaac.com.
Baby snot.
You ought to call Strata.
Man,